If you're thinking about buying a house in 2023 or 2024, this tip is for you. My name is Jason Cassity. I am a real estate agent in San Diego, California, and I'm here to hopefully save you some money. So let me first set the stage. Back in 2022, we saw a rate increase from about 3% to about 7.5%, which is where it is today. That was done almost intentionally in order to slow down the rapid growth of the housing market, along with the inflation that we're seeing all across the US. And so what that has done has impacted home buyers for the last couple of years and made it wildly unaffordable for a lot of people. That being said, the housing market, definitely here in San Diego, but also nationwide, has still seen equity price increases just on a much smaller scale than we were seeing a couple of years ago. So here in San Diego, we're seeing about a 1 to 5% equity increase year over year versus 20% like we were seeing in 2019, 2020, 2020. So that being said, even at the higher interest rate levels, people are still buying and selling homes. And that's where this tip comes into play. One of the benefits to buying homes in this more normal market is that buyers have a lot more flexibility in the things that they offer, right? They're able to negotiate either purchase price reductions or seller credits in order to offset the rising costs because houses are sitting a lot longer. Back in 2021 and 2020, you basically had to give up your firstborn and you were competing against 30 other offers in order to just get the thing accepted, and you ended up paying 10 or 15% over asking price. That's not necessarily the case anymore here in the end of 2023 and 2024. Because of the higher interest rates, there's less demand for housing, which means a house that needs to sell is going to be sitting for 30 or 60 days versus opening weekend, right? So as a buyer, you have a little bit more flexibility. You have some more options. And that's what I want to talk about today. Is I want to explain one of those options and why I think it can help you save money. Let's take an example of a normal home here in San Diego, right? I'm just going to pick the number 750,000. I'm going to use Zillow's mortgage calculator. So you can go play with this yourself and run numbers for whatever is normal in your market. As you can see here, I just have a $750,000 house with a 10% down payment at a 7.5% interest rate. Those numbers are all just taken from today, right? Today's interest rate is about 7.5%. And then if you're just a first-time home buyer, a normal kind of $750,000 house with a 10% down payment seems like a logical number here. Again, go to Zillow's mortgage calculator and play with these numbers yourself. And you'll see that the average payment here is about $5,857, right? This is what your payment would be all in, including taxes, insurance, and PMI. So what most people will try to do is they'll try to negotiate a purchase price reduction. So when you're come in, you're like, hey, I'm going to offer $730,000 because your house has been sitting for a little while. So let's take a look at what that looks like if you're able to negotiate a $20,000 reduction. Obviously, your payment goes down from $5,850 to about $5,700, right? So you've saved about $150 a month on your payment. I always like to focus on the payment number more than the actual home price number here, because the payment's what comes out of your pocket every month. That's it. Your sale price, ultimately, other than your property taxes, doesn't matter as much as your actual monthly payment, because that's what you're paying each month. So by getting a $20,000 purchase price reduction, congratulations, you've just lowered your monthly payment about $150 a month. That's great. But I have a separate tactic that I'd like to tell you about. If you take that $20,000 purchase price reduction and just use it as an interest rate buy down, you'd end up saving yourself more money. And so first and foremost, let's talk about what an interest rate buy down is. We call these mortgage discount points. And you'll see here, this is just a random blog I pulled up, that each point is about 1% of the loan amount, and it reduces your mortgage rate about 0.25%. So in our hypothetical example there, if we had a $750,000 mortgage, home, and you have a 10% down payment, your loan amount would be about $675, right? So to drop if you're able to get $20,000 off your purchase price, you're able to get you're able to buy about 3 points, which would lower your interest rate from 7.5% to 6.75. So now let's take a look at that 6.75 in our new calculator here. So if you take that same exact home price of $750,000, but you've done a mortgage purchase price reduction, you've bought down your rate with that $20,000 savings, your interest rate is now 6.75. Your payment is all the way down to $5,500 a month. Remember, our original payment was $5,850. So now you've saved yourself about, and I'll show here all three of them together, it gets a little bit smaller. You've saved yourself about $340 a month by taking that $20,000 and doing an interest rate buy down versus just getting $20,000 off of your purchase price. So in essence, by doing the same exact tactic, it's $20,000. It's a net same for the seller. They're either getting, five or 750 or 730, 730 or 750 with 20K back. So it's a net wash for the seller, but you as the buyer are saving an extra $340 a month on your payment instead of just going at it, or about $150 difference there, right? So if you're thinking about buying a house in the next little bit where the market is going to be a little bit more friendly to buyers, you're going to have the ability to negotiate. Try doing an interest rate buy down instead of a purchase price reduction. Again, I'm Jason Cassity. I'm here in San Diego, California. So if you're interested in buying or selling a home, reach out to me below with one of our discovery calls and I'd love to help you out.